is inhale through the nose, sending the breath down the back of the body, and then on the exhale, pull the belly button in, and the breath comes up the front of the body and out the nose. Feel the shoulders relax. Feet are grounded. Excellent. And one more breath here. All right, close your eyes and open them up again. And let's start a little moving here. Let's start with our cat and cow. So feet are hip or shoulder width apart. We're going to bring the pole straight in front in the center. And then hands just below the shoulder line. We're going to bend the knees. Exhale, drop the chin around the spine towards the back wall. Tucking the tailbone. This is our cat. And then on the reverse, we're going to inhale, rounding up, looking up. And then exhale back to cat. So back and forth between the two, moving nice and slow. You can bend the knees as much as you like. And then coming back to neutral. Awesome. All right. So next we're going to do laterals. Any of the poses that we're doing, you can do without the pole. This one, to do with the pole, we're going to do one side at a time. So we'll do 10 times on the first side and then 10 times on the second side. If you want to do it the regular way, you're welcome to do that. All right, here we go. So we're going to inhale, bring the arm up. And then exhale, bring it back. Two more. And last one. Excellent. All right, switching sides. And here we go on this side. Inhale. Exhale back down. Two more. And last one. Excellent. All right. Next, we're going to do our twist. So you can do it without or anywhere away from the body, a little bit lower than the shoulders. Anywhere. All right. So we're going to inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, turn to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the second side. Option to go back and forth if you prefer that. I kind of like going one side at a time. So we don't want to go too deep into the twist as we're just warming up. Excellent. And then one more time each side. Nice. And then coming back to center. All right, so we're going to do our half sun salutation to come back to symmetrical. So if you prefer it without the pole, go ahead and do it your favorite way. Otherwise, I'm going to do it with the pole with straight arms. All right. So here we go. So we're going to inhale, arms up, exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, arms coming up. And then exhale, arms back down. Nice. We'll do it 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, arms down. Nice. All right, so let's start with let's do hips first before we do shoulders. So we're gonna bring the pole behind the back, kind of resting about here on the sacrum. The arms can be out far or in closer, and we're just gonna make small little circles. Excellent, and then when you're ready, we're gonna switch directions. Let's go ahead and do, since we have the pole here like this, let's go ahead and do a little baby back bend. So if your hands are out further, we're going to bring them in closer. And then we want to roll the shoulders back a little bit. So we're opening up the chest. That's going to give us a little head start on this baby back bend. So starting, looking straight ahead, we're going to inhale. And exhale. On the next inhale, we're going to tilt the head up, and we're holding the pole in place to kind of help us go back a little bit further. And then exhale back to neutral. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, looking up, and exhale, come back. And last time, inhale, looking up, and exhale. All right, let's bring the pole back in front, and we'll do shoulders. So we'll start with the arms in front, and we're going to bring the arms up and over. And then when you're ready, we're going to reverse direction. Excellent. All right, so bring the pole back down. And then let's go ahead and do some of our balance poses. So we'll start with palm tree pose. So again, option to do it without the pole. And then this is the one where we can break it down into a couple different options. So you can do just the feet. And you can use the pole for balance if your feet are a little wobbly today. Or you can do just the arms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Or if you're ready, put a bow together. or pick anything in between that you like. That's an inhale coming up. Exhale. Nice. Finish the one you're on and we'll do one more. Excellent. Alright. Let's do crane, flying crane next. And I'm gonna try it this way. If you have a different other favorite way, you can do it. If you want to do it without the pull, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, we're gonna hold it straight out in front, a little bit lower than the shoulders. And we're just gonna march. So we're gonna lift one knee up and then set it down and do the other side. One more time each side. And release. All right, let's go ahead and do our warrior one, and then we'll do a couple more balance things. All right, so we're gonna start with the knee first. So we're gonna turn one foot out, step the first foot forward. Go ahead and lift up the toes, spread them out, and then set them back down. We're going to inhale on the straight knee, exhale bend. Excellent. And then push off, step back, let's do the other knee. So turn that foot out, step the second foot forward. Lift the toes up, spread them out, set them back down. Inhale, straight leg, exhale, lift. And then we're going to push off, step back, and then we're going to add the arms. All right, turn the first foot out, step that first one forward again. And the pull is in the hand that fits in the back. So left, left, or right, right. All right, so then we're going to take the other arm, inhale, bring that arm up, bend that front knee, and this is the one where we're going to fold forward. So we're going to exhale. Fold over that front leg, arm swoops down. Inhale, sweep it back up. And then exhale, straighten the leg, arm comes down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward, arm comes down. Inhale, bring that arm back up. Exhale, one more. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, done. Nice. Step feet back together. And then we'll do the other side. Turn that foot out, step the second foot forward. Switch hands with the poles. You're going to inhale, bend that front knee, arm comes up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, done. And again, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, down. One more. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale. break anytime you need it. Alright, so let's do a little more moving balance here. So we're going to start with our halfway around the world. If you don't need a pole, you can do it without, or if you want a chair, that's another option. So we're going to start with one foot stays on the floor where it is, the other one's going to travel. So we'll start by tapping in front, up to the side, and then back to center. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Nice. We'll switch sides. And here we go. Forward, out to the side, in the back, back to center. And 2 more. And last one. Alright, what's the other one? Oh, no, we gotta go reverse. So back to the first foot, and we're gonna step back, out, in the front, back to center. Two more. And last one. Nice. Switching sides. Here we go. Step back. Front, back to center. Two more. And last one. Nice. Alright, let's see, warrior. Let's do our warrior 2. So the pole's gonna go in the back hand, or the hand that's in the back. And then we're gonna bring the other arm in front, bend that front knee. Take a couple breaths here. Check in with the feet. Soften the shoulders. And then here we go. So we're gonna bend that front elbow. Forearm comes to the front thigh. Side angle pose. And then we're gonna inhale, windmill around to peaceful warrior. If you can reach the pole back behind you, go for it. If not, don't worry about it. And then exhale back to side angle pose. Inhale, peaceful warrior. And one more time for side angle pose. And inhale, peaceful warrior. So back to warrior 2. And then we'll drop the arms and step the feet down together. Alright, finish the other side. Take a couple breaths here in your warrior 2. Bend that front elbow down to side angle pose. Inhale, windmill around to peaceful warrior. And exhale back to side angle pose. Inhale again, peaceful warrior. And one more time for exhale, side angle pose. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Excellent. Coming back to warrior 2. We'll drop the arms and step the feet back together. Alright, so let's do a high So two ways you can do it. One, you can step forward or step back. So I'll show you each for your options. So to step back, we're gonna lift one knee up and step that foot back. And then you bring the arms up. And then come out, back like that. Other option, maybe not quite as wobbly, is to step forward and then bring the arms up. Okay? So let's do 3 on each side, and you can pick whichever way you want to get there. It doesn't matter which side you do first, just do both sides even. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna step into position, so either step forward or step back, and then we're gonna inhale the arms up, and then exhale, come back. And then again, inhale, and exhale. One more time, inhale, and exhale. Excellent. All right, let's do the other side. So we're gonna inhale, and exhale. Again, inhale, and exhale. And one more time, inhale, and exhale. Excellent. All right, that was fun. Right, yeah. Little mental challenge, if nothing else. All right, let's do a fabulous triangle. So we're gonna bring the pole in front, similar feet for triangle as warrior 2, but the knee's gonna stay mostly straight. If you prefer your triangle without the pole, you can set it down. Otherwise, we're gonna bring the back arm to the pole, so both hands are on the pole, and then we're gonna slide the lower one down and look up under the upper armpit. So take a couple breaths here. Excellent, and then to come out, walk the hands up, and then bend that front knee and step the feet together. All right, let's try the other side. I'm gonna bring that back arm over to the pole, walk that lower hand down, looking up under that upper armpit, and we'll take a couple breaths here. Excellent. To come out, walk the hands up, bend that front knee, and set the feet back together. Excellent. Check out. All right. Let's do our more difficult balance poses. So starting with tree, which may or may not be difficult, depending on how you like to do it. And again, you can do it without the pole if you prefer. Otherwise, we're gonna pick a foot. The foot's gonna stay on the floor. And then start with tripod or kickstand, heel above the ankle of the opposite foot. So the first thing to check is this hip. Exaggerating here, so we want that nice and strong and straight on that straight side. And then we can grow branches. Since you have the pole, if you want, you can stay right here. You bring that foot up higher. So don't just let it hang there. Push the foot into the leg and push the leg into the foot. So opposing forces. And then you can do anything you want with this arm. You can stay up and stay at the heart. You can move it with the breath. Inhale the arm up and then exhale, bring it down. Excellent, and coming up nice and gracefully, you shake out the leg, shake out the arms. All right, let's do the other side. So you can keep the pole on the same hand or switch. And then we're going to root the other foot into the floor and start with kickstand. Bring that foot up higher if you have balance, if you want. Inhale, you can bring the arm up. You can keep it at the heart. Move it with the breath. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale down. Nice strong hip on that straight leg. Relax and open hip on the bent knee side. Excellent. And then coming out nice and gracefully. Check it out. Alright, so let's do pigeon next. So we didn't do a lot of hip opening stuff yet, so it might not feel great yet, but maybe we'll do some more when we sit on the floor. Alright, so one foot rooted into the earth. We're gonna bend that knee, make a little shelf, bring that ankle or foot up on there to rest. And then take a couple breaths here. If this is not enough of a challenge and you want, you can exhale and come into sleeping pigeon. Excellent. When you're ready to come out, we're going to push that foot down. Inhale, come up. Release the other leg, and then shake it out. Excellent. Let's try the other side. Root the foot, bend the knee, bring that ankle or foot on that little shelf. Take a couple breaths here. And again, if this isn't enough of a challenge, you want to add to it. Exhale, fold forward, sleeping pigeon. Excellent. When you're ready to come out, we're going to push that foot down. Inhale, come up. Release that leg and shake it out. Excellent. All right. Let's see. So let's do dancer pose. So I don't have a chair handy, but if you can't reach your foot, you can bring your leg up on the seat of a chair. Otherwise, let's go ahead and try it. We're gonna grab that ankle or the foot. Excellent. And we're gonna start by pointing that knee towards the floor. So if this is what your body wants to do today, then go ahead and just stay right here. Breathe into it. Feel that stretch in the front of the thigh, the quads. If this is not enough of a challenge, you can walk the pole out a little bit, point that knee towards that back wall. Increasing that stretch into that hip flexor. Excellent. And then coming out nice and slow. Point the knee towards the floor, and then release the foot. And then all right, let's try the other side. Root that foot into the floor, grab that ankle or foot. Start with pointing that knee down towards the floor. If you want to add on to this, you can walk the pole out a little bit, point that knee towards that back wall. And then coming out, oops, not that fast, knee towards the floor, and then release the leg. All right, shake it out. All right, so let's do a couple more things things here before we come down to the floor. So we're gonna bring the pole onto the back of the neck. And then kind of drape the wrist over, and we're just gonna do small little circles here. So we already did the big ones, so we'll just do the small ones. Yeah, you might have to stagger there. And then reverse direction. Excellent. All right, so from here, let's bring the pole in both hands, and then we're gonna bring it up towards the ceiling. So we're gonna do laterals again, a little bit more intense this time. If you wanna try the other way again, that's totally fine. So we're just going to go to one side, just as far as you can get back up. Inhale to the center, exhale to the side. One more time each side. Nice, and then we'll bring it back to, let's see, let's do dolphin pose. If you want to do just cat and cow, that's fine. Dolphin pose is bringing the head down lower, kind of like you're riding the waves. All right, so hands in front, slightly below the shoulders. Feet can be nice and wide here. So we're gonna exhale, head comes down below the arms, inhale, coming back up. Exhale down, inhale. All right, and then coming back to neutral, let's do, we're gonna do pyramid pose. So pole is in front, we're gonna step 1 foot forward. And the idea with pyramid pose, similar to triangle, is that front knee is straight, but only as straight as is comfortable. If you have to bend it, no worries. A couple of options, so you can do it without the pole and just hinge at the hips and fold forward. You can do it pulling onto the pole coming down, or you can use the pole and come down with the pole. So, like that. All right? Is that too many options? Okay, that's too many options. All right, so here's another, well, last option. This is the one I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna bring this arm up, and then exhale, fold forward, kind of like the warrior one. Inhale, come back up. Do it 2 more times. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, up. And last time. Exhale. And inhale. Nice. All right, bend the knees. Step the feet back together. Let's do the other side. All right, here we go. So we're going to inhale that arm up. Exhale, hinge at that hip joint, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. And again, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. And one more time. Exhale. And inhale. Nice. Arm down. Step the feet back together. And then, all right, we're going to come down to the floor. So, if you want to come into a squat first, you can do that, or if you want to get a drink before you go down, or have your water close before you go down. You want to skip the squat and just sit, you can do that too. But don't take a big drink and then squat. Sorry. Which is what I'm gonna do. closed twist first. So we're gonna bend one knee, actually, bend the right knee, sorry. Right knee is bent, right foot on the floor, left leg is extended, left arm extended over that left leg. So we're gonna inhale, lift, feel the whole body extend, exhale, arm in front or behind that right knee. Right hand behind the spine, inhale, lift up, exhale, turn and look towards that back wall. Excellent, unwind. Legs stay the same, we're gonna extend that left arm over that left leg again, gaze follows the thumb, inhale, open twist. Next, we'll bring that arm back, release, and we'll switch legs. Right arm extends over that right leg, inhale, lift, feel the whole body extend, exhale in front of or behind that left knee. Inhale, lift the spine up, exhale, turn and look towards that back wall. Excellent, back to center, right arm over that right leg, gaze follows the thumb, inhale, open. Excellent, and then let's bring that arm back. And release, nice. I'm gonna flip my mat sideways and we're gonna come down, or no wait, let's do windshield wipers first. Okay, so hands come behind the back. Feet can walk out a little further and we're just gonna go side to side with the knees. I'm gonna switch my mat sideways now, and then I'm gonna come on back to the spine. All right, so start out here, let's do a one-legged Apanasana. So we're gonna exhale. Bring one knee in towards the chest. Inhale, foot comes back to the floor. And then second side, exhale, knee in. Inhale, foot to the floor. Excellent. And one more time, each side. All right, next, let's do those windshield wipers again. So we're gonna bring the arms out to a T, so the hands are slightly lower than the shoulders. And then feet can come out just a little bit, so we have room to move the knees. So we're just going side to side. So there's two other options here. So just regular like this, side to side, or step the feet out wider and drop one knee in towards the center and then bring it back up and then do the other side. So this is internal rotation, which I don't think we do enough of. I think we do more external rotation, but everybody's different, so maybe you don't. All right. So that's another option for these windshield wipers. The last one is bringing the feet back in closer to the center, more like hip width hip distance apart. And then we're gonna drop one knee out to the side. This is external rotation. And then bring it up to center, and then drop the other knee out to the side. Inhale, bring it up. Excellent, and then finish it off with just a couple regular. Nice. All right, let's do bridge pose next. So we're gonna bring the feet close back in, heels, knees, and hip joints are lined up. We'll start with lifting just the hips, so arms can be down by your side, or you can do robot arms, bend at the elbows, fingers pointed towards the ceiling. And here we go. So we're gonna push the feet into the floor. Inhale, lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release them back down. And again, inhale, lift. We're lifting from the hip points. Exhale, back down. And one more time like this. Inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Nice. Next round, let's add the arms. So we're gonna push the feet into the floor. Inhale, arms up, hips up. Arms go overhead to the floor above you. Exhale, arms down, hips down. And again, inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, arms down, hips down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Nice. Let's do, we're gonna do 2 more rounds. So we're gonna do the extra breath one, and then we'll do the leg lift one. All right. So here we go. So we're gonna inhale, push the feet in, arms come up overhead, hips up. And then on your next exhale, we're gonna release just the hips. Feel that space opening up in the shoulders. Nice and slow. Take another inhale. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Nice. Again, inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, release just the hips. Take another inhale. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, release just the hips. Nice and slow. Take another inhale. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Awesome. Okay, so last round here. Arms are going to stay down on the floor. We're going to push the feet up. Push the feet into the earth, lift the hips up. That's our inhale. And then we're going to come up on the toes. And then the knees go out. And then the knees come in. Hips come down, nice and slow. And then heels come down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift the hips. Come up on the toes. Open the knees. Exhale, we're going to close the knees and release the hips. And then finally, heels down. Awesome sauce. One more time. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the heels. Knees go out. Exhale, knees in. Release the hips. And heels come down. Nice. All right, let's bring the knees into the chest. We're going to do some Apanasana. Exhale, knees in. Inhale, knees out. So that was a lot of bridge pose, which is back bend. So we want to counter that with some Apanasana. Excellent. Excellent. All right, next one, we're gonna exhale, knees in. On the inhale, arms up overhead, feet up towards the ceiling, point and flex the feet. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. And last one. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Option 2, rock side to side. Sometimes this feels great, sometimes, not so wonderful. Excellent. All right, so bring feet back down to the mat. We're gonna bring the arms out to the sides. And the left foot comes to the center of the mat, and we're gonna cross the right leg over the left, and we're gonna drop both knees over to the left. And the head can look left, center, or right. Excellent. Inhale, knees to center. And then we're going to drop the knees to the right. You can change the direction of the head, left, center, or right. Excellent. Inhale, knees to center. We're going to uncross. Bring that right foot to the center of the mat. Cross that left leg over. And we're going to drop both knees over to the left. Head can look left, center, or right. Inhale, knees to center. And then we're going to drop both knees over to the right. And the head can look left, center, or right. Excellent. Inhale, both knees to center. We're going to uncross the knees. And let's bring the knees back into center. Just do a couple of abanasanas. That was a pretty good twist. So we want to get that spine back to symmetrical. Excellent. Let's bring both feet down to the mat and then extend both legs all the way straight out. And then we're going to bring both arms up overhead. And from here, we're going to do our crescent pose, also known as banana asana. So we're going to walk both legs over to the left and walk both arms over to the left. So this can be your pose right here, or if you want to make it a little more intense, grab the right wrist with the left hand and cross the right ankle over the left ankle. So let's take 3 breaths here. So the first breath into the rib cage, inhale, and exhale. Second breath, right shoulder to right hip, inhale. Exhale, hip to shoulder. And one more breath, right side body, fingers to toes, inhale. Exhale, toes to fingers. Nice. Uncross and ungrab. Walk back to the center. Give it a nice good morning stretch. Extend the fingertips and the heels away from each other. And then we're going to walk the legs and the arms over to the right. If you want to deepen the intensity here, you can cross the left leg over the right, left ankle over the right ankle. And then grab that left wrist with the right hand. 3 breaths on this side. Inhale into the left rib cage. Inhale. And exhale. Second breath, inhale, left shoulder to left left hip. Inhale. Exhale, hip to shoulder. One more breath here. Fingers all the way down that left side body to the left toes. Inhale. Exhale, toes to fingers. Now uncross, ungrab, come back to center, give it another good morning stretch. Excellent. And then we're gonna bring the arms back down by your sides. And let's finish off with palm tree pose arms. So we're gonna inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms back down by your sides. Inhale. And exhale. Finish the one you're on and do two more. And then getting ready for our final relaxation pose. Relax the legs and the feet away from each other. Maybe tuck the shoulder blades together. Getting any last little wiggles out. I'm gonna sit up so you can hear me better. And let's do a full body relaxation. Walking up the body. Relaxing each part as we go. Starting with the feet. Relax the toes. Relax the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet, and the heels. Release the ankles. Relax the calves and shins. Release the knees and the space behind the knees. Relax the tops of the thighs and the backs of the thighs. Let the pelvis be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the abdomen. Release the ribcage and let go of breath. Let the shoulders be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the upper arms, elbows, and lower arms. Release the wrists. Relax the hands, fingers, and palms. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Release the jaw. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts about the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe. Take the next few moments and just be. Gently coming back into awareness. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. If you'd like, you can roll your head side to side. When you're ready, and with an inhale, rolling over onto your to a comfortable seated position. And to bring breath back into the body and find us safely on our way, let's finish with a breath of joy. All right, haven't done this one in a while. Hands start on the heart. Inhale, arms down, fingertips touch. Exhale, all the way back around, hands to heart. 3 times. All right, here we go. Inhale, hands down, arms up, fingertips touch. Exhale, all the way back around, hands to heart. And again, inhale, fingertips touch. Exhale, hands to heart. And one more time. Inhale, fingertips touch. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring the palms together. Thumb touches the heart, and namaste.
Namaste.
All right, thanks